So today I'd like to talk about mindfulness as a quality of attention. This quality of attention is distinctly different from our usual way of attending. We attend to all kinds of responsibilities and duties all day long, with interest or not, with care or not, automatically, habitually, or with fresh interest, like when we're reading instructions for a new device. We bring attention back. We recall an errand that needs to be run, that we need bananas at the grocery store. We recollect daily to take our vitamins, and we remember a disagreement that we had with someone yesterday. And with that comes a rush of feeling all over again, or some twinge of pressure or a pang of desire. Our memories often come laced with feelings. These are the things that we bring to mind. This is our everyday attention. Sometimes we care about what it is we're doing, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we remember something, and sometimes we forget. Sometimes we have judgments and opinions, and sometimes we don't. It's good to have these different ways of attending, but these are not the kind of intentional remembering that mindfulness brings. The Pali word for mindfulness is sati, S-I-T-I, or S-A-T-I, remembering to remember, to bring mindfulness to mind. Not our usual way of attending, but mindfulness. This kind of attention brings the heart and the mind together in the looking and relating to whatever is happening in the present moment. This kind of attention doesn't involve us using our eyes and ears, but rather it requires that we step out of our usual way of relating and sense into a less identified, less judgmental perspective. And in so doing, the looking is then imbued with qualities of kindness, of friendliness, welcoming, and care. Because the view that mindfulness peers out from doesn't judge or react to what is happening. It simply sees, kindly and wisely sees and feels what is happening right now in the present moment without judgment. Now, that is very different than our own personal view. Often we just move through our day with our usual internal mumbles and grumbles or lovely commentary and our reactivity to whatever is happening. We like, we don't notice, we don't care. We move based on our whims. We are the protagonist of our story, the central character of our life. This is what we have been conditioned to believe. And so this is the view out of which we see, we feel, and make decisions. This is our default setting, so to speak. When we like something, we give it caring attention. When we don't like something, we generally don't care about it. Caring is dependent on us deeming it worthy of being cared for or not. What we see and care about is unique to us and the moment. Sometimes some of us will choose to not see a homeless person on the street or not care that we see dishes piling up in the sink. Seeing is fickle, as is our caring. We may be mad at ourselves and decide to punish ourselves harshly for a mistake, or we may choose not to forgive ourselves or someone else and instead nurse the grudge further. Well, so it is with our personal view. But the quality of mindfulness, of mindful attention, entrains a less personal, less fickle quality of caring attention that attunes to the present moment without judgment or commentary. It just sees. It just feels. It sees us as a player. It senses the joy and the distress we are feeling, but from outside of it, as if a wise or benevolent other was watching over the situation and sees us in action. Looking through the eyes of that benevolent other, we see Through that heart we feel, and through those hands we want to learn to act as if a benevolent other were acting. No judgment, no maneuvering, just seeing and feeling what is happening as it is happening, and kindly, wisely, caringly responding for our welfare and for the welfare of the situation. This is the quality of attention that allows all of the guests of our guest house to come and visit. No part left out. When we can put our view aside of how it should be, but it isn't, when we can put aside our usual opinions and judgments and habits, soften the gaze, and then imagine what a wise, kind elder would say. How does that view from that perspective change what is being seen and felt? How might a caring elder relate to what is happening? Suppose in the next sitting, our lower back freezes up and suddenly we're in a lot of discomfort. If we are unmindful, we are likely to start to complain in our mind about the pain. And we might even recall when we got injured the other day, and then here it is again. We may start to feel tired or irritated and just want the sitting to end because we can't stand being with the pain. We just want rid of it. This is us scrambling to deal with the unpleasant. But let's say in the very next moment, we wake up enough to see ourselves wrangling with how the moment is and remember, oh, let's bring mindfulness to mind. Let me just try to soften the gaze. Take a breath, shift, soften, settle back a little bit more, and shift the attention and notice, just simply notice, wow, unpleasant is here. Ugh, unpleasant feels like this. Oh my. And just keep breathing with and in and through unpleasant as it unwinds itself. Or perhaps there's suddenly an awareness that the unpleasant is actually too much to handle. And so out of wisdom and compassion, we shift attention to the body and just help the body to feel as comfortable as it can in the discomfort that is present. The only difference between these two moves is that we have removed us from the equation. It is no longer us trying to fix the moment and wrangle with the moment, but rather meeting the moment as it is through the lens of mindfulness, just seeing it and shifting with a softening of the gaze so that we can see with kinder eyes what's really happening and where the suffering lies, and see how we might allow that to unbind itself. The self-view that we usually see and relate from is biased. We want what we want. We don't want what we don't want. Mindfulness invites us out of our personal wants and not wants, and invites us out of our perspective and into a perspective that looks caringly, without discrimination, at what is happening in real time. It takes a step back out of the subjective, out of the personal, as it were, and into a wider, non-judgmental, non-identified posture of caring attention. Mindfulness sees us, it sees our reactions, but it doesn't react to it, doesn't judge, just lovingly witnesses us struggling in the moment. And out of the raw felt experience, considers how best to relate to us and to the pain that we feel. This is the quality of attention that the Buddha suggests leads to awakening, leads to less suffering and more ease of well-being. So let's see if that's so. Ehipasako. Let's see for ourselves. Let's practice trying this week to remember to bring mindfulness to mind, to shift out of our view and to shift into something that feels kinder and more caring, less charged. Let's practice stepping out of our usual way and into a less judgmental way of caring, and see how that feels. All right, everyone. Thank you for your kind attention. And now let's turn our attention squarely to the body and see how the body is today. Open it up, create some breathing room, maybe lengthen the vertical axis, right? Stretch long, open up the spine, make some room between the vertebrae. See what feels cranky and very gently open it up. And see if you can support the body to feel as comfortable as possible in the present moment. And if it feels helpful, gently close the eyes and let go of the outside world. And just for a little while, we're going to give our undivided attention to what's happening inside here. See if we can unwind from the busyness of the mind. Let the organism come in for a gentle landing. And playing with that idea of a soft gaze. Lovingly watching over moment after moment, watching over our well-being. no judgment, just sitting here in a body breathing, watching thoughts arise and pass away, watching emotions arise and pass away, watching sensations arise and pass away. Now, if you will, let go of the meditation instruction and just settle on back and let yourself be and breathe. Maybe just notice any sense of relaxation or ease, any softening that's occurred in the last little while. Breathe and make much of that experience. This is the fruit of your practice. And finally, if you will, just drop in the awareness of context of all of us sitting here with you and you sitting here with us. Each of us making room for ourselves and each other. How lovely it is to be in good company.